Hello, Joe Klein from Time Magazine. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Glad you're here. Several months ago, I was warning Congress. Yeah, better wake up, because you're about to become completely irrelevant. This president now is taking steps necessary to remove them from the equation, I believe. Maybe you will now, too. It's happening. Ask Rahm Emanuel, White House Chief of Staff, who said, quote, "We are reviewing a list of presidential executive orders and directives to get the job done across a front of issues." Wow. Okay. Executive orders, kind of a nasty little thing. Every president has the authority to influence policy without legislation through executive orders. Agency rulemaking and administrative fiat, he can do whatever he wants as long as he signs an executive order. Most times, it's okay because it really doesn't affect things. Sometimes it really does. Goes against the grain of the American people. George Bush did a lot of these things. They were wrong, some of them. Mr. Obama's success this week in pressuring the Senate to confirm 27 nominations by saying, you know what, I'm just going to appoint while you're on recess. That demonstrated the executive power that he has. He's going to leverage it to force action by Congress. I'm just going to appoint them. His own Congress won't do it. It's not like these are Republicans standing in the way. Obama has already decided to create a bipartisan budget commission under his own authority. Congress said, I'm not going to do it. His own Congress said they wouldn't set it up, so he signed an executive order. His administration has signaled that it plans to use its discretion to soften enforcement of the ban on openly gay and lesbians serving in the military. Why does he just asked for it? They're considering repealing the law now. What's the executive order for? The Environmental Protection Agency now moving forward with possible regulations on heat-trapping gases blamed for climate change, while a bill of cap and trade languishes in the Senate. Let me ask you this question. Mr. President, why the hurry? Well, I'll show you in a couple of minutes here. One of the leading global warming scientists admitted we haven't had any warming in 15 years. Gee, that sounds like breaking news. Maybe we should slow down on the global warming thing. White House Communications Director Dan Pfeiffer said, the challenges we had to address in 2009 ensured that the center of action would be in Congress. In 2010, executive actions will play a key role in advancing the agenda. Wow. I just didn't think that's the way the United States worked. You know what I mean? I just thought that representative government, so we would have the representatives, especially when they're in the same party as the president, that they would be able to get that through. Because what you're suggesting here of jamming through cap and trade, jamming through health care in an executive order sounds more like an emperor and a useless, powerless Senate sort of setup. You know what I mean? Kind of like Rome, circa 27 BC on. What's unique about the United States, Mr. Pfeiffer, is we have a constitutional republic. And I know it includes executive orders, but it also includes a series of checks and balances, on any would-be ruler. The Obama administration is circumventing the system of checks and balances right now in gigantic ways. Even as the global warming hoax continues to be exposed and debunked, and again, more on that coming up in a second, the president is trying to hammer draconian measures through using executive orders. And now the EPA is pushing their way through. He'll get what he wants. Farmers in California continue to struggle with no water as the state focuses instead on the beloved Delta smelt. The EPA continues to crack down on manufacturing, which would further cripple the U.S. economy, but save the cave-dwelling Paiute trout, or whatever it is they're trying to save at this point. If this issue were really, truly about science, wouldn't we stop right now? The global warming thing, isn't there enough right now? I mean, assuming that you've found any of the articles on TV or on, the internet or any of the magazines on the newsstands or your newspapers about global warming, wouldn't you say there's enough to say, hey, wait, we should look at what the scientists are saying? This isn't about science. It never has been. It's about control. All of it. Healthcare, not about health. It's about control. Another example of that control is Michelle Obama's obesity campaign.
We want to get parents information so that they can make good decisions. We want to improve the quality of food in our schools, and we want to make food more affordable and accessible because we have food deserts for more than 23.5 million Americans, folks who don't live anywhere near a supermarket, so they can't get access to good fresh produce.
Food deserts. So are we going to have to take over supermarkets now? Food deserts. That's fantastic. And we need more information to our parents. Here's all the information you need. Donuts will make your kids look like me. We're looking into this fiasco right now. Mark my words. I will bet you, that we're going to find some corresponding piece of legislation in the health care bill that was rejected that relates directly to the First Lady's initiative. And who wants to bet SCIU is involved? You really think Michelle Obama is worried about your child's BMI? Or is it more likely that she and her husband are just doing what they said they would do during the campaign? Watch.
Barack Obama will require you to work. He is going to demand that you shed your cynicism, that you put down your division, that you come out of your isolation, that you move out of your comfort zones, that you push yourselves to be better, and that you engage. Barack will never allow you to go back to your lives as usual, uninvolved, uninformed.
I mean, what kind of America is that? If I want to be fat, stupid, lazy, I can be that. I can be that. You know why he's going to force you to not be that? Is because now you're a drain on everybody else's pocket. See, that's a case for smaller government. I realized that during the election, the media put its fingers to its ears and yelled, "I don't hear anything, blah, 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 blah." But kids, time to wake up. We're not in the election anymore. These people now have real power, and Barack Obama is wielding that power with executive orders. Keep in mind, candidate Obama wanted change. Remember? Hope. Change. He wanted to change everything about Washington. He disliked everything about George W. Bush, or everything George Bush ever did, ever stood for. Yet it seems like business as usual in our nation's capital. Yeah. It was supposed to come to an end, but no, under Barack Obama, he's already on pace to sign far more executive orders than the evil George W. Bush did. He also adopted many of Bush's terror policies, war strategies, surveillance techniques. You know what? Last week, somebody in the administration said that Americans have, quote, no reasonable expectation of privacy on your cell phone. Really? He tells us how much of a mess he inherited from the last president. I know he's got a lot of things going on. If U.S. Congress doesn't wake up, if they don't wake up and exercise their balance of powers put in place by our founders, they will soon go the way of the cave-dwelling Paiute trout and the California farmer. You will not believe the powers given this government through executive orders already, not just by this president, but the last president and the one before him and the one before that. We should be taking powers away from these people, not allowing them to sign more to themselves. But we will cover that. And believe me, it's shocking. Tomorrow. Back in a minute.